Hey guys, I'm Allison. I'm the Pampered Wife. I am 47 years old and have normal to dry skin. Right now it's pretty normal, and I have been trying out the Alima Pure Satin Matte Foundation. I don't know why that sounded so weird to me. I have some other Alima Pure products, so I thought I'd go ahead and go over all those with you as well. Alima Pure was founded in 2004 by a kindergarten teacher in her attic. From the very beginning, they've given 1% to the planet, which is to environmental organizations from their gross profits, not from net or anything. So they give 1% of all gross sales, which is phenomenal. They've been a B corporation for years as well, which means they really give back and care about their impact on the world and the environment and the people and animals who inhabit it. Alima Pure has been carbon neutral since 2008 and is all renewable energy to run its production. They do have some refillable compacts. Their loose powder products do come in plastic, I believe, and are not refillable, but they're so progressive that I anticipate we'll see more refillable options and glass packaging from them in the future. This is obviously a clean brand. If you don't know, I only really review or use clean products. They are never tested on animals, completely cruelty-free. And while their products are mineral-based, none of them contain talc. There are no nanoparticles in any of their products. What specifically got me interested in using their Satin Matte Foundation is I've heard for years that it's great. I've also heard that it really works well for more mature skin. I also have quite a bit of creasing and wrinkles up here, especially around my mouth. So in order to try this, I wasn't sure what shade I was. We do have an Atelier here where I could try some clean beauty products, but I don't believe they carry Alima Pure. So I ended up, after looking at several sites, going straight to Alima Pure's website where I could purchase these samples, which are really a decent size, if you ask me. I bought 4 of them for $1.75 each. You could also do a thing they have called Find Your Match with 10 shades. It's $24. It comes with a kabuki brush, and then you also get a $10 credit towards whatever you purchase. So let's go ahead and get started. I already have sunscreen on my face. Since this is a powder product, you will want to start with some kind of primer. Alima Pure sells a primer. I don't use primers typically. I just use moisturizer, or really what I always use is sunscreen. Works as a great primer. And I think I'm going to go in with this shade Cool 4. It comes in this little plastic container. And I'm just going to pour some into the top of another product that's big enough to fit a brush. So here's the top that I'm going to use. I'm going to pour some in. You see it all down here. I read on their website the best way to apply it is with a kabuki brush or a tightly packed dense brush. I have a perfect brush. I think it's a crunchy brush at my little condo in the mountains, so this will have to do. And I'm just tapping it in, and I'm just gonna pat it onto my face. Again, tapping it in. I think I'll do just one side to begin with so we can see the finish. When I've worn this before, I was just so impressed with the finish. It was really skin-like. You couldn't tell so much that I was wearing something as that my skin just looked just better, smoother. It still had a skin-like sheen to it. It wasn't matte and it wasn't dewy. So I think you can see just from that first application how much better this side already looks. You wouldn't necessarily think I have on foundation. I just used a very light amount. You definitely can still see all of my skin imperfections through it, but it just looks like such a nice texture, right? Compared to this side. It's pretty remarkable. So I'm gonna go in and do a light layer on the other side. I do still love my Pure White liquid foundation, but you gotta try new things, right? And like I said, with summer, this could either be a great product or a terrible product. When I was wearing it yesterday, it wore beautifully even though I sweat. It seemed to last all day. I didn't have any issues with when I sweat that it, had a line of sweat through it. It seemed to stay, and as the day went on, it even looked better and better as far as I could tell. So this foundation, I don't think I said, is $28. It comes in a whole bunch of shades, a great shade range. The website does say that the Satin Matte Foundation should last 4 to 6 months, I guess if you use it every day. But look how nice this finishes. I think it's exactly what I was looking for. It's really nice. I am gonna see if I can build up the coverage a little more to see what happens over here with some of these spots. I'm just dumping a little more in the top. I'm getting a little more coverage there. They do also make a powder concealer, which I purchased, and I'm gonna use that under my eyes today. I used that yesterday as well. The back sides of my cheeks here, where I tend to have a lot of discoloration, and from all the hormones I take, I tend to get breakouts closer down to my chin. And of course, I wanna bring it down my neck. I think this color is really perfect for me. That's enough for me, for my casual everyday. So I don't get the impression that I could build this up a ton as far as coverage. All right, you know what? Even though this is enough for me, I'm gonna go in and just keep adding and see how we can build this up. So sorry if I didn't already explain it, but I tap it all in and then I go in and with light rubbing motion, buff it out. And I do think the best way to apply it is in layers. Yeah, that's a lot better than when I started. Instead of going in with a thick amount at first, go in with lighter layers, pat it out, and then buff it in, and that'll keep it from looking cakey. Yeah, it's definitely a lot better than it was. I think my skin looks really nice. Now I'm gonna go in with, what is this called? Their concealer in the shade Linen, and this comes in a little plastic container, the black plastic top, and it's a sifter and has this sifter top that closes and you open it when you want to use it, which is so great. I was kind of worried about a loose product, and you know, I used the sample size first, and obviously it's quite messy. But two things. First of all, that is quite messy, but it doesn't kick up a lot when you go to use it. It doesn't kick up a lot all over the counter or anything, actually. It wasn't messy at all, but to pour it out is messy. But with this little sifting top, it's not messy at all. I just tap it out right into the top of the product. Not that much comes out at a time, which I really appreciate too, because I'm not wasting product. So all that tapping, let's see if you can see, that's how much came out. And I'm gonna go in with a fluffier small brush, and I'm just gonna, again, tap this in just like I did with the foundation. And I put the sunscreen under my eyes. I actually didn't use moisturizer today. I was thinking this could be a nice option, the powder, because it's not gonna sink into my fine lines and all that kind of stuff. So again, we can see how this looks. The shade and the coverage. Oh, wow. Check out the difference between these two eyes. Isn't that so great? I never expected a concealer, powder concealer. So I'm gonna go, and I did not need all this at all. I've hardly used any. This could last me quite a long time, but yesterday when I wore it, it looked so much better than the cream concealers I've been using. It didn't get nasty look all bumpy and dry and peeling, and it just stayed nice all day. I did wear a liquid eyeliner, so nothing ran. You know, liquid eyeliners dry down so nicely, so I didn't have any issue with my makeup running like I often do. So I'll be curious to see if this powder makes a difference in general. I'm just putting some where I normally would, around my nose, because I have allergies. The tip of my nose is always red. I'm always sneezing. I don't think should I put some over here? All right, let's see how it does as a cover up, like on a blemish. Well, now it just looks kind of lighter in color. I don't know. I don't know that that's the best, because really it did give it a nice finish, but made it lighter in color. So I'll probably just keep that to the under eyes, but again, I'm so blown away and impressed. And it looked like this all day. It's not just one of those products that looks like this in the beginning and then half an hour later it doesn't look so good. No, it looked like this all day. So let's go in and do eyes. This is Alima Pure's eye primer. So far, this is my favorite eye primer I've ever used. It has been unavailable on every website, as far as I can tell, for quite a while, so I'm thrilled that it's back. At least on Alima Pure's website, they have it. And this is $20, totally worth it, lasts so long. I'm gonna put some on my finger, and it looks almost a little peachy or nude color. And I just spread this. That may be too much. That's probably enough for both eyes. I did use it yesterday, but like I said, I've been out of it for a long time. So I'm just spreading that all over the lid, up into the crease a bit. It's a little bit tacky, adds a little iridescence. It really intensifies pigment and holds it all day. And this next product that I used is their loose mineral eyeshadow. It's $14. Comes again just like the concealer came in this little plastic container with the black plastic top. I got the shade Ube, U-B-E. I wanted to do something fun and different. I've been really disappointed with all of the palettes that are out. I feel like there's no summer or spring palettes that came out, and I didn't buy anything new. Wanted something fun and at least spring. This is a loose powder, but it actually stayed great all day. Now I did wear the primer. I don't know how it would wear without the primer, but it was fabulous. And they really pack it so full. So it's kind of hard to get out at this point, but like I said, I think once it's a little more empty, it will be easier to get out. Also, I could end up putting too much in here like I did before. So I'm just gonna go in with a sort of flat, bushy, eye brush. Brush is the word I'm looking for. Okay. There we go, pretty pigmented. Oh, I think I'm gonna need a closer mirror than the one back there. So I'm just tapping this on like I did with the other two products, just to lay down some color. Oh, I almost dipped into this. Nope. So I'm gonna put a little more on that eye. I think it's just super fun. I'm gonna put a little under my eye. Each side of my face is different from the other, and my eyes are shaped differently, so I'm trying to see if they look about even with how much product I put on and where I put it. I love this shade that it's brightening like this, so I can use it on the inner corner. Oh, I didn't go in and do it underneath. And then something that's really fun that I did yesterday is wet it. I just wet my brush, which I'll do quickly, and then I dip my brush in the loose powder, used it on the edge and made like a little wing, and wetting it just makes it that much more intense and opaque, and I love having that option. I'm gonna try to even that out some because I'm a little old to pull that off, I think. So yeah, wetting it just intensifies it, makes it that much more vibrant and opaque. I'll have to look and see what other colors they have because this is really fun. Also, this is quite light and would be easy to travel with. I don't think I mentioned I already have my brows done. I'm gonna go in with some eyeliner now. I do have their Natural Definition eye pencil in coffee. I've been using it for quite a while. Here's what that looks like. It's just a nice brown. Seems maybe to lean a little reddish as opposed to grayish. It doesn't exactly rub out super easily if you wanna smear it, but you can a little bit. And I was gonna maybe put this in my crease like I do sometimes, but I don't know. So instead I'm gonna start on my, upper lash line and see how that looks. Just to make my lashes look fuller and thicker. I think I'll leave it for now because blush and bronzer and all those things make a big difference. I don't have Alima Pure bronzer or blush or mascara, although they do sell, I believe, all three of those. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on, get those on my face, and be right back. So I went in with some blush, bronzer, and mascara and lips. Alima Pure also does sell lipsticks. Again, I have not tried, but I have a feeling since I've been so pleased with these products that I probably will. I wanted to show you my highlighter because it is a cream highlighter, and yeah, I don't have any highlighter on, and this is how beautiful the finish is. I would say satin. Is that a satin finish? Yeah. Like the name. Oh my gosh, I love it when things are actually named appropriately instead of being misleading. Satin matte finish. I wouldn't say matte, but definitely satin. Oh, I also put more of the eyeliner. I did end up putting it in the inner rim of the bottom of my eye. Why am I having so much trouble? Anyway, this is a Westman Atelier highlighter in the shade Nectar, and it is a cream product. I'll show you on my skin here what it looks like. So it pretty much looks sheer and wet, depending on how much I use. I don't know that I'm gonna use that much, but I'm just gonna use my finger, rub it around, and then tap it on top so you can get an idea of how beautifully this foundation works even with cream products. And I wouldn't rub because that will likely move the foundation, and everything else I used was powder on my face, but I wanted to show you this cream highlighter, and not just this cream highlighter, any cream highlighter, on top of this powder foundation, so you can see how beautifully it applies and looks. I do also have an eyebrow pencil. Unfortunately, the shade is way too light. It is the shade Brunette, and it's more, I think, for a blonde. I will put it next to the brown eyeliner that I've already wiped off a bit. So that doesn't work for me, and so I went ahead and used other brow products. So that is the finished look with the Alima Pure products. The last thing I would suggest doing is putting some kind of setting spray on. Now by setting spray, I don't mean actually going out and buying a setting spray, just some kind of mist to kind of settle everything together, kind of meld it together. Unless you have oily skin, then you wouldn't need that probably. I'm just using this Fitglow Day Serum. That will all dry down and wear beautifully throughout today if it's anything like the first time I tried it. My takeaway is that these products should work for just about everybody. I have normal to dry skin and it's not at all drying. I don't think it looks drying on the skin. I haven't had issues with creasing. And if you have oily skin, I think powder products are almost always a great option for you. If you have more mature skin, I would recommend trying this as well because it hasn't settled into the lines around my lips or under my eyes. The shade range is fantastic. I'm really enjoying this fun spring summer shade of eyeshadow, which is really the star of the show here. And I'm just thrilled with the under eye concealer as well. I found this to be a great option for dry under eyes, which I never would have expected. But it's not creasing, it's not emphasizing my dryness, and I think it looks great. Again, they have, I think maybe just 3 or 4 shades. I could be wrong on that, but they have a lot fewer concealer shades than they do foundation, but you don't need as many shades. I noticed some shine on my forehead here, and I just took the same brush, didn't even put more product on it, tapped all over it, and now that's much better. That's the shine appeared just from when I spritzed my face. I will list everything I've used that I mentioned in the video as well as the other things that are on my face. I will list them down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments what you think. I'll see you soon. In the meantime, I hope you find some time to pamper yourself today. Bye.